Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, wellness, and into fitness. Well, on Christmas week, the spotlight shines brightly on the Aquinas Blue Gulls. My guests this week, two senior student athletes, Reuteman and Joe Salvodelli. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
As we tape the show here just a few days before Christmas, Christmas is a time for reflection, gratitude, spending time with family, thinking about maybe what's ahead in your journey in 2021 and beyond. I know you've spent some time in Mass celebrating the Christmas season. First, think back, starting with you, Matt, like Christmas special. I know your family real well. Were there any Christmases in the past that were highly special to you?
I remember two years ago when I was a sophomore. It was right after my grandfather passed away a month earlier, and I think that was a big time for our family. It got a lot closer, just kind of bonded over the fact. It was very obviously sad, but at the same time it kind of brought our family closer together, which helped and made the Christmas more special, and I guess Christmas itself helped too, to help us get over such a tragic event in our lives.
Ooh, pretty defining. As a quick reaction to that, our father died on Christmas Eve when I was 10 years old. My sister 11, my other siblings just very, very young. So Christmas, a special time for us? Sure, but also a sad time. Mm-hmm. But we try to look at the good things. And one of the good things is having you two guys on the show here on Christmas week, because I know what you stand for, being Aquinas student athletes. Joe.
Yes.
Some special Christmases for you?
Well, I'm not sure how I'd say it's special. It's one that sticks in my mind. There was this one Christmas where there was like some kind of like bug that was kind of going around with my family, some illness, I don't know. So like Christmas Eve, there was just like three of us just waking up in the middle of the night and just you know, puking. And so that's just one that I remember, like, it's just stuck in my brain.
Do you have any pleasant memories of Christmas?
Well, I mean, every Christmas, I get to see my brothers come back and stuff, so my whole family's together. And we kind of have, like, this tradition where we kind of all just go out and, like, play basketball together. So it's, like, kind of competitive, but also, like, really fun. And so we just, you know, go out, shoot hoops, compete against each other.
Are mom and dad in the game too, or are they refereeing and coaching?
My mom will shoot around occasionally, but my dad actually like gets into it and like, you know, competes against me and my brothers.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Gratitude, reflection, all things. As you reflect on 2021, and I've written an article for the newspaper, talked about that. I'm going to share some things in our closing today, but 2021. 2020, a very difficult year for all of us. The pandemic, the toxic presidential election, the recession, a resurgence in racial tensions throughout the country, the world. As you look at 2020, and knowing that your senior year now is not unlike anything you've ever experienced, and you've felt some of the bad things that have happened in 2020, particularly the spring season, the abbreviated fall season, being out of school, in school. Thoughts on that, Joe?
You know, I feel like since we've experienced all that, it'd be really nice to see, like, you know, people just, you know, having like enough of it. So like everybody just starts to come together. That's what I'd like to see. Just as a community, just have the common goal to be better.
Yeah, well said. Thoughts, Matt, as I reflected on my own disappointments in 2020?
Well, I mean, just to put it simple, it kind of sucks. But I can't be, because what's going on in my life, I have to be grateful for every blessing I have, because there's so much more people who have it worse than me. Like even just high schoolers my age weren't even able to play football in the fall. Or like just me, I live in a nice community where I don't see many problems, and I'm very grateful for that too. So
Has the pandemic changed either one of you?
As a whole, no.
I mean, the pandemic itself, I guess not, but just as a person, I just changed over the year, I guess.
Real quick before we move on, 2021, just a few days away. How will your life change, if indeed at all, in 2021?
I'll be graduated from high school, so I'll be off to college next year, so that'll be a big change.
Yeah, easily the biggest change will be going into the next step of schooling. We're both attending college now, so that will be a big decision, and like moving away from home, depending on where we go, may be hard at first, but you got to get used to it as you go.
I've taught at Aquinas, and I know a lot of your staff, and I admire what you do at Aquinas. And I know the mission statement is simply a Christ-centered education, preparing you for the future to serve your family, serve the community, serve the world, and make a difference using the values taught as a blue gold. Pretty lofty expectations. How are you going to live up to that, Joseph?
Well, I'm just gonna, be the best person I can be. I'm just gonna be positive, kind, and they always say you got to be a gold standard, and that's what I always strive for. It's just to be the gold standard.
We did a show as a tribute to my brother who broadcasts games, and we talked about him, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers remember Scott Erickson and Mike Kearns being the gold standard of broadcasting. And of course, I have goals too, and one of them is a gold standard of TV shows.
Yeah.
And I hope that we're trying to get to that level. Is that gold standard what you're trying to achieve too, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, just overall in life, I feel like going for the gold standard is the way you should live, because that will sort of motivate you or propel you into doing great things in life. So like you can set a goal, and I mean, gold standard I guess could be subjective, such as what is your gold standard, or what are you trying to achieve in life to make the world a better place. So as you go on through life, you should try to set this gold standard for yourself. And I guess what life is all about is just trying to achieve that gold standard of being the best you can be.
Yeah, and you're both on your way to do that. Well, let's go back to the football season. I know this is basketball season, but football ended not too long ago, and we covered a lot of your games. You probably know that. I was at many of your games broadcasting myself. And I talked to Coach Lee, who's a good friend of mine, and he shared some things about both of you. But in case you missed part of the football season, viewers, Aquinas had a tremendous season, winning their regional championship, a game that we broadcast against Lancaster. And in that game, the season started, and I'll be brief here, but the season started with a concept of platooning at Aquinas. And then with COVID issues and injuries and so on, that had to be adjusted. So, Joe, Tom Lee talks about how you played wide receiver, and you were on defense initially, and you had a key block, I think, in Joe Penke's touchdown, and you did so many things that you scored a touchdown too.
Yep.
And you hadn't even started the season by playing offense, but your adjustment from defense to offense and your athleticism and you're willing to take that on was extraordinary. What were your thoughts on that?
I was in the mindset that I would do anything for the team. I'd play any position if they needed me to go on O-line like Matthew here. I'd do that because it's the team before me, and of course, I scored that touchdown, which is awesome. I was really happy for that, but I was doing it for the team.
Have you always been that way?
Yes.
Team first, individual second.
Yes.
I hope our viewers can really appreciate that statement because, frankly, not a lot of people feel that way. A lot of them are out for personal glory, and that's not. There's nothing wrong with. I'm not criticizing anybody, but that's not who you are, is it?
No.
Matthew too. Coach Lee talks about it's kind of what Joe just said about you play running back. He needed you to go on the line. You were our player of the game, both of you, if I reflect back in that game, because of what you did in terms of the effort that you put forth, how you were willing, like Joseph, and changing positions, contributing in any way you could, and you did it without hesitation.
Yeah. I mean, so like that, I'm same with Joe, I'm team first, but I remember like I came off last year as running back, which is obviously really fun, but then when coach told me I needed to move to tight end, I made sure that I was going to be the best tight end I could. And then when I got moved to O-line, I wasn't going to complain. I was just going to work harder to be the best O-lineman I could.
There's a life lesson in itself, because a lot of people wouldn't want to go from a skilled position to one with less notoriety in the offensive line. But the job that both of you did in that Lancaster game, which was a high for me as a broadcaster, watching the effort, watching how you galvanized as a team, was special. And Matthews, you're a finalist for the scholarship through the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association?
Yes.
And you're on your way to be a tremendous student, possibly. Well, I can't imagine, says Tom Lee, there are any better candidates on the planet than Matthew in terms of character and academics and winning an award from Wisconsin football coaches. And of course, the same thing is applicable to you, Jill. That's kind of what he says about both of you. Pretty lofty statements.
Yes. I mean, I don't know, there's not much to say. I mean, that's just...
It's what we strive for.
Yeah.
You're on your way. Speaking of striving for, we're striving to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, more here on Seven River Sports.
With our busy lives, it's a comfort to know that we can still remember loved ones in a traditional way with a monument. Lewiston Monuments in Lewiston, Minnesota has been helping families purchase a monument for over 4 generations. You'll find a large selection of beautiful granite, marble, and bronze monuments, all at competitive prices. And they're a full-service company, so they also do straightening, cleaning, and repair of monuments. Stop in or call for a no-obligation consultation, or visit lewistonmonument.com for more information.
You know, the thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 5-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
Seven River Sports, spotlight here on Christmas week. Aquinas student athletes Joe Salvodelli and Matt Reuteman. Well, Joe, football, basketball, golf, 3-sport athlete.
Yep.
Favorite?
I'd say football. I just like how it's like, it seems like it's the most team sport to me. Like, it's just really fun sport to play in. And the golf thing, I played baseball my first couple years of high school, but my senior year, I think I'm gonna go up for the golf team just because personally, I'm not the best golf player. I'm not too good of a golf player, so I kind of want to like develop a skill in that sport so I can play it later on in life.
He said he's not a very good golfer. Welcome to my world. I play quite a bit, but I'm pretty average because I try to do too many different things. And I can't be on the golf course all day long because it gets boring, so I got to do other things. So, honors, the National Honor Society All-Star. You're nominated for the Football All-Star Game. I hope that materializes. two-time letter winner, National Honor Society. He embraces all opportunities, impact, captain, all those things. Now, some people think a captain is the person that goes out and talks to the official before the game and then, you know, then drifts into the woodwork. A captain, if you look at the meaning of a captain, it's highly involved in terms of being a role model, a leader, and so on. How are you as a captain?
I guess as a captain, my goal is just, you know, to rally the team to compete for that common goal of, you know, a win or just playing at the best of our ability. So as the captain, it's my job to make sure that, you know, if someone's, you know, feeling down about their play, I'll be there to lift them up. Or
how do you do that? If somebody's not performing to the level that they could, you as a captain, your job is to recognize that and pick them up. How do you do that?
Well, it's all about communication. I have to you know, establish that, you know, that bond between me and my teammates. And, you know, once that bond is formed, you know, they'll have trust in me and I'll have trust in them. So I'll be able to, you know, remind them of the skills that they can be, you know, like you said, not playing to their ability. So I can remind them that, you know, that they can play better, and I know that they will.
And I assume you've done that.
Yes.
I assume, Matt, you've done that too, because you're a leader. Football, you played 3 different positions, basketball, baseball, all academic, all the things that is in Joseph's profile is in Matt's. Scholar athlete, all academic, student of the month, and you're in the National Honor Society. You do all the things besides being an athlete to really move away from your high school years knowing that you have done everything possible to grow as a person.
Yeah, so I know that outside of school, not everything's just gonna be sports or just about what kind of person you were in high school. It's more about it's more kind of what you did or how did you carry yourself, so when you leave high school, you're the best person that you could be or better than you were when you entered high school.
And National Honor Society, impact.
Yes.
You're impacting who?
So Impact is an organization at Aquinas that you try to impact the local community. So we do a lot of different volunteering things, such as we go to the Kane Street Community Garden, we help out there, and we do things like go talk to people with Alzheimer's at the one place up by Shelby.
Sure.
And we just kind of try to make a better impact on the community to make it a better place.
And of course, you gain as much, both of you are in that, you gain as much leaving that particular volunteering place as much as they do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so that experience that you'll get from helping people is just a great experience. You kind of feel better about yourself, you know, you're helping people out, and just seeing their smile on their face after you help them is enough an award.
One of the benefits that you both have, I know your family real well, both of you, but one of the benefits and gifts that you have, unlike some people, and particularly a lot of them that I've worked with at the Boys and Girls Club that aren't as gifted academically, athletically, nor do they have the support, family support that you do. You have a very involved family. Talk about that, Matt.
Well, I'd say that's just a blessing that I have. Not everybody has that, and I know people personally who aren't as connected to their family as I am, and I just I'm thankful for my parents every day for what they've done for me. They feed me, they send me to grade school at Aquinas, and they allow me to be the best person I can be.
And they've helped you on your journey. Well, Joe, it's no different in your family. Your brothers have been on this show, and you follow in their footsteps. But your family, they have your back.
Of course. You know, there's no one else I'd rather turn to if I was in a spot. You know, there will always be there for me, and I'm thankful for that.
You mentioned in your profile that somebody that inspired you years ago, and even today, is your grandfather.
Yeah. Well, so he passed a few years. He recently passed, but a few years before he passed, he was kind of struggling with like health problems. But every time I visited him, every time I saw him, I never saw him without a smile on his face. He was always just really positive, and I always saw him smiling. So that's the kind of person I strive to be. Someone like that. Like even if everything's not going amazing, I can still like be bright and be positive and stuff like that.
Quite an inspiration.
Yes.
Of course, Matt, you've had some people inspiring you, and it's probably your family too, and maybe coaches and siblings.
Yeah, so I feel like definitely having siblings has inspired me, because when you grow up, and I had like obviously an older sister who played sports in high school, and my younger brother too, and even my oldest brother they would like to compete with me. So when you got a competitive family, you're always trying to strive to be the best, to outdo your sibling, even if it's just out of pettiness sometimes. But it's just like, I want to be better than you, and it's never a bad thing. It's always a good thing, because it brings the best out of everybody.
Well, we get to May, and hopefully you have a successful basketball season. You're off to a good start now. You're 1-1, and by the way, if you around this weekend, or you have a chance to watch on next weekend on KQEG, we'll be broadcasting actually next week some Aquinas games, and it's your holiday tournament. Tonight, as we tape this show here on Tuesday, you play Menominee tonight. That'll be a great game. But as you move into the spring and then you graduate, next chapter of your life, where are we going to see Matthew at?
So I'm not set in stone of where I want to go to college, but I have like ideas such as I've gotten into Madison, Marquette, and Loyola, and Loyola Chicago. And right now I'm not 100% certain on where I want to go, but I am pretty set on I want to major in biochemistry as my major. But outside of that, nothing else is for sure, or even that, but that's pretty good idea of what I want to do.
Needless to say, I didn't major in biochemistry because that was a little difficult for me. And people that are watching are like, really? I think they already knew that. But then after you graduate with honors, like you will at Aquinas, then what?
Then I'd probably, I mean, this isn't for sure either, but I'd want to go to maybe a medical school and be like something like a physician's assistant, and just go and have a career there, or even like possibly get a teaching degree so I could be a college professor, which wouldn't be too far-fetched either.
Well, both of them great. PAs, what a growing profession that is, all over the country. And Joseph, you, in next chapter of your life, I know you still have to contend with getting through high school and having and enjoying that experience, which you have and you will, but then you're on to college.
Yeah, I've been accepted to UW La Crosse and UW Eau Claire, so I'll probably go to either one of those. And then while I'm in college, I'm thinking about majoring in biology, so minus the chemistry part from Matthew here. So just biology. And after that, I'll probably maybe strive to become like a physical therapist.
Good. Have you always wanted to do that, or?
I've always, I've only recently really started to think. Growing up, I always wanted to be a professional basketball player, professional football player, but I don't know how good my chances are in that. So recently, I've started to, think of, what's tangible, what should I do, what would interest me. And so, helping each other out, helping other people out in, physical therapy sounds, ideal to me.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, in the last 2 minutes, you know what rapid fire questions are, like question, boom, answer, like a drill in practice. So, defining moment, Joe, in your high school career.
Midwest Players Classic last year, had a game-winning shot against West Salem.
We were there, by the way, broadcasting. I'm sure you got a tape of that.
I do.
Philosophy of life for Joseph Salvodelli.
Treat others how you'd like to be treated.
What's your saying that you think represents who you are?
Well, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, So with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
And you have power as a captain and leadership and so on, so you have responsibility. Last thing, what somebody, the viewers, like really don't know about Joe?
Well, when I sneeze, I can actually, people always say it's impossible to sneeze with your eyes open, your eyes will fall out. But when I'm able to sneeze with my eyes open.
You should be on TV. Oh, by the way, you are. I'm talking about national TV showing that off. Well, and Matthew, defining moments, is that similar?
Yeah, so I remember the last game against Lancaster, I think, was a defining moment for my football career. And basketball, last year, the first playoff game against Osseo Fairchild, I think Gavin Wetzel was in a little bit of foul trouble, so I had to come off the bench, and I had a career high, and I helped us win that game.
Good for you, yeah. Well, Gavin Wetzel is in foul trouble. You maybe didn't have some real good referees working that game? Or not? Just kidding. So, philosophy of life.
Oh, that's similar to Joe's. It's treat other people with respect. Like, treat them how you would want to be treated, how humans should be treated.
And Matthew is? Meaning our viewers don't know?
Oh, a member of the math team. So,
ooh.
Sadly this year, I think the math meet that we usually go to is canceled, so we can't do it this year. But I love going down there and answering some math questions and see how well I can do.
A saying that represents who you are?
It's don't sweat the small stuff. This actually comes from my grandma, and it basically means is don't worry about the little things in life or something that might be causing you trouble. That's not a big deal. Just focus on the bigger picture.
Move on is what she's saying. All right. Well, again, our guests here on the special Christmas week are two special people. Aquinas High School student athletes, Matt Reuteman and Joseph Salvodelli. Welcome to the new year pretty quick, but thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after this.
The thing I'm most proud of when I think about our company is the reputation that we've been able to build in this community. Our technicians have done a great job going out and performing magnificent jobs for the customer. And our customers have rewarded us with some really great reviews online.
We have over 150 five-star reviews online right now. Our technicians do a great job out there, and our reviews show it.
We can say without hesitation, when you choose Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll be glad you did.
When you're faced with the decision of selecting a monument to honor someone dear to you, call Lewiston Monuments for a no-obligation consultation. Lewiston Monument is a full-service monument company, serving families in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for over 4 generations. You'll find beautiful granite, marble, and bronze memorials, all at competitive prices. Their experts can help you design the perfect and unique memorial. Lewiston Monument. Call today or on the web at lewistonmonument.com.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. Well, Rick and I were at Aquinas High School on Friday as the undefeated Blue Goals would entertain the Cooley Conference champs from last year and a state qualifier, the Arcadia Raiders. The Blue Goals started slow, due in part to a determined Arcadia defense. After a Dave Donarski timeout, Aquinas regained its momentum and surged to a 20-point lead at intermission. The Blue Gold offense got even stronger in the second half as they built to a 40-point lead and a running clock. Plenty of offense contributing stars for the undefeated Blue Goals. Macy Donarski with 19. Bree Barr, J.C. Weisbrod, and Gracie Kronk with 12. Bailey Teish contributed 11. For Arcadia, Bree Golden and Chloe Halverson led the way with 10 points each. The Blue Goals return home on Monday, December 28th, a big game against a very good Lake Mills team in a 1 p.m. game. Arcadia travels to Fall Creek on December 29th. Final from Aquinas High School, Blue Goals 93, the Arcadia Raiders 37. Well, 2020 has been a difficult year for many of us. We know that. Our sincere hope is that all of us can find some ways to be grateful during this holiday season. So from all of us here at KQEG and Seven Rivers Sports, we hope that your holiday season is safe and healthy. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping that you will have a great Christmas holiday season.